All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have lesson 7 here for homework. So let's get to it. Biggest thing about this, of course, is the vocab. If you paid attention in the video and you've been taking time to learn your vocabulary for this lesson, this should be a really, really easy lesson and really, really easy homework sheet for you. You guys, you have to know these terms. You have to know what parallel is. You have to know what perpendicular is. Know nothing around it. All right, you guys just have to know it. So if you're struggling on this homework page, you're just gonna have to go back and watch that video again. Go back and look at the PowerPoint that I made, not the PowerPoint, but the slideshow that I made for you. Really get to know these terms really, really well. So for 1, 2, and 3 here, all I have to do is look at them, right, and then tell whether or not they're parallel or perpendicular, and then explain. Now, I can't do the writing part here, but I'll verbally explain it to you guys, okay? So looking at number 1 here, I see 2 lines that are going in the same direction, and they're never going to touch, okay? It's pretty easy to tell that these are never going to touch. So are they parallel? No, okay? You can't be perpendicular if you don't touch ever. So explain how I know. Well, the reason why I know these are parallel is because they're going in the same direction without ever touching. So number 2 is parallel and perpendicular. I know I don't have a protractor on me. I don't have anything to measure this angle, but my goodness, that sure looks like a 90-degree angle to me. So I'm going to say definitely no for the parallel because the lines are touching, number 1. Are they perpendicular? I'm going to say yes. I'm pretty confident that this is here. I mean, like I said, there isn't a symbol in there, but man, I mean, that looks pretty, like a good corner to me, like a good 90-degree corner. So that's how I would explain it is they are perpendicular because they meet at a 90-degree angle, make a perfect corner. And that due to the fact that they are touching, the lines are actually touching, they cannot be parallel. Now, number 3, in the picture that we have in front of us, they're not touching. But I hope you guys can clearly see that if you kind of picture this thing extending out, you're going to see how it's eventually going to touch, right? It's probably going to touch somewhere in the ballpark of that spot on your paper. Now, here's the deal. They definitely cannot be parallel. That's no questions asked, okay? Any lines that ever touch each other cannot be parallel. But perpendicular. Now, perpendicular lines do touch and they do cross, but they have to cross at a 90-degree angle. All right, and this is definitely not a 90-degree angle. That's a really small acute angle right there. So this is no as well. So these are what are called just intersecting lines. That's what they're called. All right, they don't really have a different name besides that. Just 2 line segments that are going to cross. All right. So there's your explanation in there as well. Obviously, that they cannot be parallel because they're going to touch, and they're not perpendicular because they touch not at a 90-degree angle. All right, so let's get down here. So we need to know if whether they are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So number 4, once again, the computer did this, so I'm pretty confident here that these are parallel lines just because they doesn't appear to me like they're ever going to cross. So I'm going to abbreviate that PA if that's okay with you guys. Number 5, we got 2 lines that are crossing right away. Now, if they're perpendicular, remember they have to be meeting at a 90-degree angle. But if you look closely inside here, it appears to me that this angle right there is pretty small and acute, and the opposite one here is actually quite large and obtuse. So because they are crossing at acute and obtuse angles here, this is going to be a neither. This is not perpendicular or parallel. Now, number 6, on the other hand, if you kind of tilt your head like this, you can actually see that is indeed actually meeting at a 90-degree angle. I know it looks kind of fishy when you're looking at it straight on, but it is actually a 90-degree angle. Therefore, this is perpendicular. Now, I totally understand if you guys thought that might have been a neither. Just because at first sight, it kind of does look a little fishy and it looks kind of obtuse there and maybe a little acute. But sometimes you just have to turn that paper or turn the screen, turn your head or whatever you guys got to do. And you'll see that this is actually on the test and quiz, if we actually take one of those this year or not. But on a normal sheet of paper or even online, if you're doing this assignment, if you find something like this online, more than likely it's going to have a little box in there, and therefore you'll know for sure that it's perpendicular. And then number 7, we have 2 lines. Once again, they're not touching right now, but I hope that you can kind of use your imagination and see that this guy is, of course, going to meet somewhere along the way there. And where it is crossing each other is a very small acute angle. So this is another neither. Wow. Okay. Man, that was messy. Sorry about that. Another neither there. Well, I don't have a ruler on the screen, so I'm on a piece of paper. All you'd have to do is take a ruler, make sure you have the centimeter side. And so my lines are not going to be perfect in length. Hopefully yours are. But the key part here is that we need to draw a line segment of 5 and then draw another line segment of 7 parallel. That's the key part, okay? So let's just make sure that our lines are parallel to the best of our ability. Now, guys, you're not a computer. I'm not a computer. I mean, we're going to do our best, okay? We just want to make sure that we do our best so they don't cross. So I'm going to just put my shorter line on top and then my longer line on the bottom. And like I said, I just did my best to hopefully show that they don't cross and that they are parallel.